What was a red flag that made you stop talking to a person immediately?
I grew up on a ranch and trained all our horses. We used a team pen, which is a rodeo event, and met people from all over the United States, even Canada. One summer, I met a very handsome guy named Jake during one of the penning, and was pleasantly surprised to find out he only lived an hour away from me. We had amazing chemistry. We hung out as often as we could. After 2 months of dating, he invited me to his place for the weekend. Feeling madly in love, I eagerly packed my bags and drove up. When I arrived, he was working with a young colt in the round pen. I stood at the rail and watched, curious about his technique. You can learn all you need to know about someone by how they treat animals while training, even what kind of lover they are, based on what I had seen. I thought Jake was a gentle and loving soul and expected to see that as he worked. Something about Jake was off. He seemed agitated and jumpy, as did the horse. I was about to ask if he wanted help or to take a break, but out of nowhere, bam, Jake suddenly lashed out with the lead rope and hit the colt on the face. He started yelling and cursing, extremely frustrated and even trying to kick the poor horse. At one point, horrified, I immediately got back in my truck and laughed. I heard him call out, asking where I was going. When I ignored him, he yelled, "Fine, just leave, then. You weak bitch. If you can't stomach this, then you have no business being in my life," along with some choice curse words flung at my back. Terrified he might try to chase me down, he sounded that unhinged. I just wanted as much distance between us as possible. My phone went off several times during the drive, but I felt too scared to even talk to him on the phone. When I got home and checked it, I saw 5 missed calls, 5 voicemails, and 12 text messages, each more nasty than the last. I blocked his number and called the sheriff in his town to report what I had seen. The woman I spoke to said it wasn't the first time they had received complaints about Jake. I don't know what happened with that investigation, or if one was even conducted. After that, I saw him a couple of times at Pennings, but we pretended not to see each other. When I moved and I quit penning, I felt relieved, knowing I'd probably never run into him again. I was always afraid he would hurt me in retaliation and anger. Since then, I've met 2 of his ex-girlfriends, and both confirmed that when he got drunk or had even just a little alcohol in his system, it happened several times before they finally got away from him. One of them pressed charges, and he did jail time for it. I also learned that no one would sell him their horses, because he's known to be violent toward them. I sure wish someone had warned me about him. I'm just grateful it ended before it began. That is probably one of the biggest red flags there is. If someone can be cruel and violent towards an animal, they can damn well be cruel and violent towards you or a child. What red flags have you seen?